Hey, how we doing today? I want to make a short little video and talk about the Thule roof bars that I'm using for my roof box and the awning. Bought these on the cheap because, you know, kind of prioritize where you spend money, lockers before light bars and that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm not into this roof rack, $1,000, and so you got to pay the price and make a few mods. Problem I kind of been having with this is with all the weight up on the roof and that box full and off-roading and off camber and cantering back and forth. The rack ends up shifting and the little pinch bolts aren't holding. They're only held in there by the little quarter screws because, I don't know, whatever, kind of shitty. So I'm planning on ripping that all off, and I've got some other parts we're going to put in there and see if we can't shore this thing up. I'm just going to go ahead and tear this all off and show you the details up close as far as the hardware and what I'm going to be changing up to. Alright, now that I got the rack all down off the roof, we can be a little more clear about what's going on. This foot slips onto the steel bar, as you can see, like that. Well, what happens is there's a certain amount of play in there, and this is allowed to like shift and rock around. This is threaded into the housing, which is aluminum. This is like a little 6mm. What I'm planning on doing is through drilling the foot, through drilling the bar, and then taking a little page out of the current roof racks, and I'm going to stick a T-nut down inside the bar and then thread it back to use 8mm, a little bit bigger 8mm hardware, serrated head, so we get some locking on the footing. And then of course we're going to use copious amounts of Loctite. You can see another little burr there in case we have to do any massaging, because this isn't exactly tight and it just kind of allows some room for floppage or whatever. So this project starts by drilling out these old guide holes. We're just going to go ahead and drill those out to the right size. We're eventually going to 5/16 so we can get our 8mm hardware through there. All right, those are all drilled out now. Now with this bar, because I've got the other awning bracket on here, this needs to fit sort of specifically because I have to match these right here. When I do, I know I'm about close enough, so I get this centered up as good as possible, and then I use the drill bit to go ahead and mark it. Pull the foot off so we don't make that hole bigger. So you can see our little mark. All right, so I didn't hit the hill. I didn't hit the center hole exactly where it needs to be, so that's why I have the little burr. Take this guy, and then we'll just open this hole up a little bit in the direction that we need to go. A little bit more massaging. These T-nuts ended up being a 12mm, so I can kind of feed this down in there. And get our hole lined up. So there's one side. All done up in there. Alright, so I have the bars all sized out. Blocks are all in. Now it's just basically time to do the Loctite action. So I'm just going to take these bolts out one by one, lock them, put them back, and let them sit overnight. The other thing I wanted to make quick mention of while messing with these racks, and since everybody's doing kind of the 80/20 racks these days, it wouldn't be a huge deal to be able to add like 80/20 rails to your Thule rack or even your Yakima rack or whatever. Just running some through nuts through your bar. 80-20 just uses these T-nuts to catch your hardware and, you know, kind of move everything back and forth. So you could just do something similar to what we did here, run some through bolts here. You can catch the 80-20 on the head of this bolt or on the head of a separate bolt, and then, you know, run all of your other accessories on here if that's the direction that you wanted to go. So just some food for thought and a little easy minute mod for you guys today. Save $1 or $1,000 or whatever you need to save. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, like and subscribe. Check us out also on Instagram. Peace.
That wraps up another episode of Snale Racing.
Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe.